Learned that America is a third world country because of the rest of the world is so far in front of us in just about everything that I don't know where we have this false narrative that we're like the greatest country in the world, because we are definitely not, guys.
Hello everyone, this is Magbo Gaming here, back at Angry Guy's channel. But this topic is gonna be a lot different from the usual Nintendo ones. We are gonna be commentating on a specific country issue type of video, which you're gonna find out very soon. Before I get started, if you want to check out Angry Guy on Rumble, you could check in the description below, where he does not hold back with his cusses. There is freedom of speech better over there than here on YouTube. He does longer live streams over there. Also, check out the Angry Crypto Academy if you really want to get into investing in the crypto and knowing which cryptos we will recommend you to invest in. So, yep, this is take 2. Yeah, unfortunately, I accidentally removed the first take of this video in the recyclable bin. So I just want to give you a heads up. I don't know if my commentary is going to be as good, because sometimes you can't replicate the perfection that I did on the first commentary. Anyways, this commentary is gonna be brought by a user called Raising Wildflowers, and it talks about the USA being a third world country for millions of America. And that's actually pretty true, because as the cost of living continues to skyrocket, our wages have become stagnant or sometimes even less. And that's ridiculous. It's really sad to think about that a lot of people in America are living below poverty line, and the people on the top are not helping them whatsoever, because they care about profits more than they care about people. So let's get started with this commentary, and I'll give you some opinions on it as we go.
Is the richest country in the world. So why does life feel so poor for so many of us? This isn't a temporary crisis. This is real life for millions of people in a country that calls itself the land of opportunity. Over 38 million Americans live below the official poverty line. 44 million face food insecurity. More than 650,000 Americans are homeless each night. Over half of working adults can't afford a $500 emergency.
Yeah, that is some sad statistic. So it's like a very high percentage. More than half of the entire American population are very poor, and they can barely survive. Wow, man. And you know, you're saying that America is the most richest country in the world, and yet it cannot help its people because, oh, we gotta make record profits all the time. And then, as the Bible says, the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. Unfortunately, this is the grim reality. It's not something that's going to be temporary. It's just going to get worse over time in America.
The top 1% of Americans hold over 30% of the nation's wealth, while the bottom 50% of Americans hold just 2% of the wealth.
That's crazy. Like, the top 1%, the elites, they hold over 31% of the entire wealth. That's crazy. And then the next 9% holds another 37.70%. So that the top 10% holds nearly 70, almost 70 or around 70% of all the value of the United States. And then we in the bottom, the poor, the one that has no wealth or very little wealth to go by, we are pretty much the majority. We hold a lot less money than these top elites put together. That is so unbalanced and unfair.
I know what it feels like because we lived it. We are a low-income family. We've experienced food insecurity. We have lived without access to affordable health care. We have lost jobs through no fault of our own, and we have been exhausted. But after we left the US to find a better life for our...
And this is coming from a poor family that barely scraped by, but made it a priority to leave the United States. And you're gonna see the transformation difference there.
Family, we noticed something that changed the way we viewed everything. In places that America calls developing countries or third world countries, we have found people living better on far less, but are much happier. They have much higher quality of lives than we did back in the States. Through our experience traveling through lesser developed countries, we have discovered that the system in America is not broken by accident. It is broken by design, and it is something that we all need to start talking about more. Let's be honest, for a lot of Americans, especially in rural areas, life isn't just hard, it's broken. And if you're living it, you don't need statistics to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so the people that are living below the poverty line in the United States of America, yeah, broken is an understatement. They are literally struggling to just get by, and that's what makes people resent against each other, because it's all about me, fight against each other to survive, instead of like being a community trying to help each other, because the top elites are the one that holds all the resources and we are barely getting the scrapes from them, pretty much.
But let's go over some anyway, just so that you know you're not alone. 1 in 8 Americans rely on food banks or SNAP just to feed their families. Rents have doubled in many towns, even while wages stay flat. Healthcare cost is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the US. And in rural areas,
Yes, dude, healthcare, crazy. I was just doing a research on how expensive a surgery is in the United States of America, and literally I was pretty shocked. Like, it could cost between $4,000 to $10,000 for a simple surgery, even the hernia. I was looking into that, and I'm like, oh wow, if my medical insurance don't cover that, like, I would never. Regardless, sometimes it could go as high as $20,000 depending on the complications. And then yet over there in other countries, the healthcare is free. It's all covered for you, because we're not looking to prioritize profits over people. They're trying to prioritize community and the health of the community, so people can continue to thrive and work together, instead of just a few super rich elites on the top.
no hospitals for miles, no public transit, no options. If you're poor in America, you are expected to survive a system that was never designed for you. You're told to work harder, hustle more, grind until it gets better. But the truth is,
And it's not gonna get better overall unless you yourself actually takes the action to somehow find a way out of this. Of course, they expect you to survive, but with the resources out there, they expected that it's all your fault that you're not thriving, that you're in a poor state and stuff like that. When it's not always your fault. Sure, there are lazy people out there that doesn't want to do anything for their lives out there. Yeah, there are those people. But I think the majority of us that are struggling right now is because of no fault of their own. Especially when you're in an environment where the big companies don't pay you living wages and they want to be able to replace you with AI so they could pay a lot less and continue to have more money in their pockets. It's a really cruel world out there, and if they lay you off because of if they lay you off because they want to replace you with AI, is it your fault at this point? I mean, there has been people that have worked for many years in companies and they still get laid off regardless because, well, I don't want to pay this guy too much money anymore. I know he's a good person, very well worked, very good reputation, everything, but this AI can do the job a lot faster, a lot efficient. They don't ask for bathroom breaks or anything like that. They don't ask for vacation. They work no matter what, and no matter what command I give them. Yep. And they could save a whole lot more money by having AI implemented. So you got to wake up, and that's why we invest into crypto. Because you just never know when this whole thing is going to collapse. And if you don't own any assets, especially digital assets, anything that increases in value over time, you are going to get lost in the dust coming forward. So yeah, take it away, Angry, on what this whole academy is all about, because we can help you overcome this situation, because it's only going to get worse and you are the only one that can make it better.
Hey guys, In a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
Learned that America is a third world country because of the rest of the world is so far in front of us in just about everything that I don't know where we have this false narrative that we're like the greatest country in the world, because we are definitely not, guys. Yeah, I'm sad to go back. There are so many countries out there that are just leaps and bounds in front of us in technology, society, everything. We should probably start spending a lot more money on building our country rather than trying to save everybody else, because we're not that great, guys. I can tell you firsthand, we are not doing great. But yeah, unfortunately, that's all I got to say about that topic for now. But yeah, I think anybody that's, flown to any other major city in the world can kind of speak to that as well.
America place is not real. I'm telling you, it's a third world country with a Gucci belt.
This is the best time to leave the United States of America in its entire history. Think about it. We have all of the information that we need at our fingertips, kind of like my account here. I talk about this kind of stuff to be able to leave the United States of America. We are not ignorant. We know what it is we need to do, what the requirements are to go to another country, how to get a remote job, how to start your own remote job, how to start a company in the next country, whatever it is you want to do, however it is you want to do it, what countries you want to go to, what does it look like, what is the healthcare like over there, what is the temperature like over there. It is all on the internet available for us. Think about this. I have a remote job. I can travel the entire world. I haven't been to the United States in years. I just bought a one-way ticket to another continent just a few days ago, and I don't know how long I'm going to stay there. Doesn't matter. I have a remote job. Welcome to the 21st century. There has never been a better time in the history of the United States of America to leave if you want to leave for whatever the reason. And if you want to know more about this kind of stuff, stick around.
In my future, I definitely do not want to be stuck to where I am currently at this very moment. I want to improve my life. I want to do whatever it takes to move forward. Sometimes I need guidance. And yeah, I definitely recommend it a lot. Okay, so let's continue with this commentary.
You can work every single day of your life, multiple jobs, and still never be able to afford to buy a home, to pay all of your medical bills, or to buy truly healthy food for your family. That is not a personal failure. That is what happens when your country treats basic human needs as a profit opportunity.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's not a personal problem at this point. If you're not able to thrive, and no matter what you do, people like me, people like many of you guys watching, I'm pretty sure, we do our best to get by, to make as much money as we can so we can improve our lives and better ourselves and stuff. But sometimes whatever we do is still not enough, because everything is so darn expensive these days, and the corporation expects you to continue to pay for them. And there's a lot of drones that people keep paying for it, so that's why the prices stay high. And they are taking advantage of your desperation pretty much. So if you want to have access to these luxuries, you need to pay up big time to these corporations. And they don't need any more money for us, to be honest, because they have more than enough money to get by forever.
Most of our lives we have lived in the southern Appalachian region of East Tennessee, and then later we moved to Southwest Virginia. We not only have personal experience with this, but we also watch the struggle of our entire families. So this story isn't just about us. It's about our community, our friends, our loved ones, and it's about a lot of you. We did everything to make it work. We grew our own food. We bought things secondhand. We took care of our stuff. We fixed stuff when it broke instead of buying new things. We were not materialistic. We were super frugal and lived below our means, debt-free. We just did all the things that we felt were right. But still, no matter how frugal we were, no matter what we did, we still could never truly break out of the system. And it's not just us, it's our loved ones, our grandparents, aunts, cousins, neighbors. They are all working so hard and they're still struggling. They work in factories, construction jobs, in slaughterhouses. They're CNAs, they're teachers. These are irreplaceable jobs that are vital, but yet they're still not paid a living wage. The constant fear of your car breaking down or a illness that...
Oh boy, your car breaking down. I've been to that earlier this year, and trust me, it really sucks when you're not able to earn as much money as you could have because you can't find a decent job that pays you decently well, and your funds are very limited. In other words, your income's limited, and then when there is a car expense or a medical expense out there, they literally can bankrupt you because of how expensive it is. My car repairs, I had to replace like 2 or 3 parts for the cooling thing, and it cost me like around $1,000 or so in total for me to replace them. And trust me, this is not the type of situation you want to get yourself into when you are in poverty, because it's like you'll be denied access to be able to continue on with what you have if your car breaks down, medical expense, and leave you bankrupt, and then you are at the mercy of the corporations, you are in debt. That's one of the first things you need to do, is to get out of debt. You really need to get out of debt, if you have any, as soon as possible. That should be your number one priority. Once you're debt free, you could plan ahead on how you could escape the system. So yeah, it hurts a lot. I could tell you by experience, it does hurt a lot when expenses like that suddenly comes up. And I used to have a lot more in emergency expenses, emergency funds, that in case anything happens or there's a rainy day, I'm ready for it. A lot of things has happened to me through the life. I'm not gonna explain the detail what happened because it's very personal. But let's just say I've been through a lot of economic issues as of late. And it's not easy, guys. And I had people making fun of me of it too, and I don't give a crap. Because I'm not the only one that's struggling here. I've not always made the right decisions. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue moving forward. And I'm going to have the plans in the future to get out of this country. If I'm in my 40s and I haven't found anything meaningful to me that I could evolve my life, and when crypto goes to a point that I could be decently wealthy and I could be able to do more to improve my life and my situation, yeah, that's probably gonna be the time I'm really gonna plan to see if I could move to a country where the cost of living is a lot lower and you could live a lot more better compared to America and even Puerto Rico, because even though Puerto Rico is cheaper than the United States, it's a U.S. territory, and a lot of the rules and regulations and cost of living here is very similar to the U.S. So, things are getting more expensive here too. And the community is barely existent. We're all like fend for ourselves and separate and stuff like that here too.
Will keep you from going to work and paying your bills, let alone a doctor's visit. One bad month that can completely wipe you out. That isn't freedom, that is survival mode. And that's what it feels like to millions of people across the US. This is the country that is the wealthiest nation in the world, and a huge percentage of the population can barely make ends meet. So we made a decision that most people don't even think is possible. We left. We started traveling Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, and what we saw completely changed our viewpoint of what a poor country actually looks like and what's possible when a society prioritizes people over profit. We weren't looking for much when we left the US. Honestly, we were just looking for a more affordable place to survive and have a higher quality of life. But what we found when we got here was something we never really expected. We found access to healthcare, to affordable housing, affordable transportation, fresh food, amazing community, safety, in countries that we had been told our entire lives were third world countries. In Thailand, there's universal...
Yeah, so The United States is notorious for putting fear in our minds to say that America is the best country in the world. Any other world is a third world country. They could kidnap you. There's a lot of killings going on and stuff like that. It can happen here in Puerto Rico and America as well, right? And they do that so you don't leave the United States of America and become dependent of them and never become independent of your own destiny. They do not want you to be more happy over there. And they don't want their plans to be exposed. So, like, it's up to you to decide what you want to do with the rest of your life. Because honestly, this fear is what holds us back from doing the things that we really need to do and really have to do in this life in order to improve our situation. Honestly, it's sad that a lot of people don't even consider it an option, but it should be an option if you're living a really bad life here and you wish there was another way, another country that is better for you. And I'll be doing my research because this video kind of motivated me to do my research on certain countries. I was looking to Thailand a few months ago or last year. I saw like for a whole month, you only paid a small amount of money to stay in an Airbnb over there in Thailand, and you have a better quality of life apparently, compared to in the United States of America, that same amount of money could only get you about almost a week worth of Airbnb. That's how crazy it is. Your US dollars can take you so far over there than it is in your own country, in our own country, unfortunately.
Health care. In Vietnam, 90% of people are covered by public health insurance, and healthcare costs are much lower. While we were in Vietnam, we had to take our 2-year-old to the ER after a head injury, and we paid a little over $7 out of pocket to be seen, and that was without health insurance.
Only $7 for a head injury. In the United States, they probably be charging you hundreds and thousands of dollars just to attend you without health insurance. That is wild, man. I really gotta look more into this, to be honest.
Meanwhile, in America, it can cost $300 just to go to the doctor and thousands of dollars for an ER visit, and that's with insurance. In the food,
and that's with insurance. Ooh. So yeah, honestly, I don't see myself staying here when I'm older. Like, I gotta think of my future. Like, eventually with my crypto holdings and with my plannings, maybe in a few years time, I could finally decide, yes, this is the time for me to go. I gotta think long and hard, because like in the future, like I'm gonna be screwed if I do not have a lot of money on me. Like, for real. A lot of people are feeling the same way too. And you don't have to be stuck this way or make your life worse. You could definitely consider checking other country with a better cost of living, a healthy community, healthier food, and all that stuff.
Food here is so healthy. It is fresh. It's grown locally. There are neighborhood street markets on every corner. It is affordable food, even when you compare it to the wages that the people make here. There's fresh vegetables and fruit.
And that's another thing too. I'm about to end this here, but you can watch the rest of the video of this person in the description below alongside his channel as well. Definitely great content to look into. You could learn a lot from this, and I'm already learning quite a bit from watching this video as well. I'm already thankful for Angry Guy for giving me the opportunity to actually commentate on this video and getting compensated for it too. Because before this, recently, I was struggling quite a bit throughout this year. Like, I had to be careful what I spend, and I had a budget for everything, and I'm still recovering little by little from all the things I've been through in the last year. But I'm thankful for this opportunity, and I'm thankful for this knowledge as well. So yeah, food is way more healthier. People don't get paid nearly as much in those countries as they do in the United States of America, but in reality, people are more happier. People are able to talk to their neighbors. They're able to open up and say their minds, and people actually help each other. They prioritize people over profits. for a lot of these parts of the country. Sure, it's not perfect. Sure, there's crimes and stuff and everything like that. But that's why you have to do your research on exactly where you want to stay for a little while. I was in the Philippines myself. And I remember there were female friends of mine that actually chose to pay for the food that I was eating with them. And I didn't even ask for it. I was like, are you sure about that? I could pay for myself, no problem. And she insisted, like, oh, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Like, that's an act of kindness right there. She wasn't obligated to do it for me, but she wanted to do it. They wanted to do it. I had like three friends of mine that paid for my food. It's crazy. Like, wow. I didn't even expected that. Like, the culture over there in the Philippines, when I was in Manila, it's a lot different. And my dollar went a long way there. Like, I remember a bottle of water costing less than like 20 cents over there. And the Uber drives were like just a few dollars per ride of half an hour rides and stuff. Yeah, like my dollar stretched a lot more farther over there in the Philippines than here in the United States, aka Puerto Rico. So by experience, I have experienced a little bit back in 2018 when I visited there. So yeah, I hope that this commentary really educated you a little bit on this topic. I hope that you got something out of it and that it motivated you to look for other options. Definitely check out English Crypto Academy if you want to start investing in your future, investing in crypto, in assets that could increase in value over time in the future. That has always been my dream, to be able to be completely independent from the system. And yeah, also check out Angry Guy at Rumble as well, where he curses like a sailor and there is a lot less censorship and more freedom of speech there. And check out my channel at Magbo Gaming if you're into gaming, if you're into me collecting video games, showing off my collection, hunting down video games that I want to add to my collection as well. And I have a secondary channel which I haven't uploaded much yet, but here it is, Nexty Life, where I upload content about life, economy, romance, relationship, and all that good stuff. I hope to be able to get back to that channel and upload new content there in the near future. So if you support the channel enough, then I may consider to upload new content in the near future. So investing in the future, right? Anyways, those are my channels. I hope that you enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Magbo out. Peace.